gentlemen, welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast. How is everybody doing today? As always, we got my boy Ebatez and we got my boy JGOD, and then we got the chat over here to you guys, right? Boys, JGOD, Ebatez, how we doing today, boys?
Doing amazing, man.
Good.
Doing good, bro.
Good, solid.
Listen, okay, so for those of y'all who are wondering what's going on, kind of, we changed things up a little bit, or, you know, like, listen, we got a new update. We got a new update yesterday. I want you guys both to summarize your guys' feelings towards the update. I think we might have different opinions, you know? But JGOD, you first. What do you feel so far with the update yesterday, man?
So I messaged you how I played like 13 hours yesterday across all the modes. So I probably did about 7 hours or 6 hours probably in zombies, doing the new content with that, the new story, the new Easter eggs, all the new schematics. I did all the content. The new gun, I leveled it, maxed it out, got the camos in both multiplayer and in zombies.
Okay.
I went to go play multiplayer. Warzone. I didn't play much, just because the playlist's trash. I don't want to play Ashika and I don't want to play Vondel.
Okay.
Like it is what it is. So I did play it though.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think overall, multiplayer, Das House plays cool without having those broken walls. It's pretty good. Warzone didn't look like it got too many changes though. Like playing it, watching it, even the meta didn't really shift.
Yeah.
So I think there's a sense of like not newness from that, but it's a mid-season. Keeping in mind that before we used to get nothing for 3 months at a time.
Yeah.
So we've come a long way, but the expectations have changed quite a bit.
So, okay, so yesterday you played 13 hours and none of that was really Warzone.
No, I played Warzone.
Okay. How much?
I probably played Warzone for probably about 2 hours because I did about 6 or 7 of zombies. And then I did about 3 of multiplayer. And then I jumped on for like Warzone. But the problem was it was trash playlist.
Yeah.
Like I tried out the new gun. I tried out some other guns that got adjusted to see if anything was different, but it's still just the RAM. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, look, they did. There's a lot of shit that quote unquote changed. Like if on paper, definitely a lot of shit changed, but like in reality, it feels like nothing really changed, right? At least on my end, I know like is this a game? Okay, well, you know what? Before like Ebatez, tell me. What do you feel about the update? Because I'm about to go on a rant, bro.
I'm feeling pretty good about like where the game's at right now. I will say it's a little frustrating, getting on. I'm still using the HRM, RAM 9 or RAM 7. I wish that we were kind of. I know we've talked about this for a while, and I don't know necessarily the logistics behind it, but it feels like they slowly chip away at guns and barely nerf them, and then barely nerf them, and then eventually they kind of get out of the meta pool. I was using the Bruin today and it felt great. There's a couple the new BR. Go ahead, JGOD.
I want to add just one thing for the RAM is I think it's a tricky one to balance because for whatever reason on paper, it shouldn't be the meta. Other guns kill faster.
Yeah.
Other guns shoot straight, but for whatever reason, it is fucking the thing. You know? So,
I think it's just got really good bullet velocity and it's a high fire rate gun.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a little tricky. You don't want to make it like a pea shooter at the end of the day, but go ahead, Hector.
What gun, JGOD, do you think is like quote unquote better on paper than the RAM? Because I honestly, me personally, I've never fucking liked the RAM 7. I thought that shit was ass.
There's like 7 guns that on paper should be better than the RAM, but they're just not. But usually what ends up happening is either one issue with recoil or bullet velocity, which is important at long range.
Yeah.
A lot of people will discount it, but until you like are just missing shots just because bullet velocity, then there's a lot of guns that are going to be more consistent for the average player. It just goes on and on. But go ahead, Ebatez, finish your.
I will say, not to start off on a negative note, I will say I'm a little frustrated with some things. Like number one, I think the playlist is just a huge question mark for me. I get I'm a streamer, whatever. I do play this game every single day, 8 hours a day. So it's it might affect me more than other people. But even talking to my IRLs about it, they're like, yeah, we wanted to play quads tonight, and yo, sorry, Jimmy, there's only trios. You know what I mean? It's there's just for some reason, it feels very just disconnected. We have solos for Fortune's Keep and then duos for Urzikstan for Resurgence and then trios for Vondel and then quads for Ashika. But it's dude, I want to play quads. I don't want to play Ashika necessarily. So I wish we had an option, maybe choose the most popular playlist. Maybe it's quads, maybe it's solos, whatever. I don't know. I don't know why quads can't just be for every single map and then they could just let people pick how they want. That's my one frustration. And then number two, for ranked specifically, I don't know why they added the stink bomb into ranked.
They
That
did?
was, I don't know. Yeah. And I thought I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh, it's not going to be in ranked. Like they're just going to add it to pubs. And then I'm sure, eventually if it's not OP, it'll put in ranked. But for some reason, they just threw it straight into ranked. And it's not like as broken as I expected. It is annoying, but it's just like, I don't know. I wish they kind of just tested things in pubs first and then threw it into the ranked playlist later, because I don't want to get into World Series, down the line later in the year. And we're having these last minute, additions to our ranked playlist or whatever, our World Series of Warzone rule set, just randomly. I feel like they should test things in pubs first and then see if it's balanced and then add it to a ranked playlist later.
That definitely is interesting. That's the right word.
I do agree with what you're saying, though. They should definitely test it in regular pubs. But from watching, I did watch some ranked too on the side while I'm grinding out camos or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like it was a very common drop rate. Right. In ranked. And then also the radius is not particularly large. It's actually kind of a small radius, so you got to be pretty accurate. And the delay or whatever, the gas didn't even seem like it was a big deal, because you could just reposition.
It's a
but
tiny
that doesn't
little
change. Yeah, that doesn't change the point of the other part, which is it shouldn't be in ranked.
Yeah, it's just more so annoying. I will say too. Sorry, my last thing. I think streaks, in my opinion, I think streaks should only be found in gold chests. And I don't know. I just feel like the spawn rate of them is just insane, especially for a Resurgence map, dude. I mean, you get to late game, it's PA, it's mortar strikes, and it's just crazy. And it's like, I just don't get it.
I don't even know if they should ever be in chest.
Yeah,
I think they should just convert whatever they drop out of chest, convert it to cash, and then force people to make buy stations the point of interest. Yeah. And then also it would increase the value of portable buys, so that you could we need to throw one so we can get our streaks. And then also you get a little bit control over limiting them if they wanted to. So they could only be 3 on the buy or 4 or 5 or however many.
Wait, you're kind of spitting right now. Hold on.
But that's a different thing.
Wait, I actually have never thought of that. What, JGOD, you be spitting sometimes, Pops. Hey, actually more than sometimes, bro. Hey, okay, think about that. Imagine if they made, maybe not like all the crazy, like all the crazy streaks or just streaks in general. Imagine, maybe this is just a rank thing, but imagine if you made that, dude, you actually just blew my mind. That would stop the spam of streaks. That would make it to where buy stations mean more. Portable stations actually, bro.
And maybe there could even be exceptions, like the stupid one that I don't even know the name because I don't use it, but the one that just makes noise and the way or whatever the hell, the name. Yeah. And that never actually does anything. It just gives away the person's position that places it. Whatever.
Oh, the suppression mine?
Yeah, no. Well, suppression mine too. I'm talking. The chat knows. This is the stupid thing. I can't remember. The Guardian.
Oh, yeah. Guardian. Yeah. I know what fucking is that shit.
Just leave it. But those are field upgrade. The other one's a field upgrade. The suppression mine.
Yeah. I mean, bro. I've been playing ranked here and there, kind of off and on. There's a lot to kind of go off of, I guess, and I kind of wanted to see your guys' general thoughts on everything, right? But let's go one by one, and then I do want to talk about the playlist calendar, and we'll talk about that probably last, because that we're probably gonna stick to that for a while, and I have my opinions on why they do what they do, even though the community fucking hates it. So let's kind of go over one by one, and we'll kind of go for all the changes. So Vondel Battle Royale. So they said this was new. They marketed it as, try this new crazy playlist, right?
We had this in Warzone 2.
We had this in Warzone 2.
Did they say that specifically? I don't remember that being.
Is it a quads mode? Because I don't know if we had quads, but maybe that's what they're.
I feel like it was trios before too.
Maybe that's what they were saying, or that's what they were kind of signaling. But what I noticed, or what it made it seem like they were hyping up something new. Right, yeah. And that was already a thing back in the day, and at least I thought that shit didn't see any success. So why did they?
I think it did a little bit, only because of the nuke part of it, but the rewards were different. I think part of the lacklusterness of this is the rewards are identical to Big Map, which for you who've already gotten a nuke, why the hell would you go for the other one?
Right.
If the rewards were different and it gave you a cool bundle, then you might have a different opinion on it. But the reality is, if it's the same, then it's like, well, why do I need to do that? Maybe for the people that only like Vondel and they wouldn't actually go for a big map nuke, cool. But it's like, what's the point without the rewards being dynamically different than the big map?
I mean, honestly, man, it kind of does seem like they're dabbling into smaller map BR. I hope it's something that just comes and goes and it's not something they try to do all the time. Like I think they tried Rebirth BR as well, and that I don't think that hit that well. But obviously with the casual community liking like the smaller maps and the fast pace, but I don't think it's the maps. I think it's just Resurgence game mode that they like. They like dying, spawning back in, dying, spawning back in. So
kind of reminds me of like a mini Royale. You know what I mean? They're trying to make a smaller map BR. Like
So I looked it up. Just I think the verbiage is there. I can see why you remember it.
Okay.
But it says Vondel now offers the beloved Battle Royale experience, which Battle Royale is beloved. And then it says with its unique map design and 72 player count. It's just talking about how Vondel plays the BR map, not that they modified it anyway. Yeah, it's just the new mode returning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
they didn't gas it. They didn't really gas it. They're just talking about it like, yeah.
I wonder how many people are actually going to play that. I mean, I definitely saw that and I was like, oh, like, are they going to give me cool rewards? And I was like, all right, whatever. Screw it. I'm not playing that anymore. Or I'm not playing it at all. But speaking on the next thing that they changed was Fortune's Keep, right? They added a boat. They added a boat. We obviously knew about the boat. Have y'all gone in and landed on that thing? Is it kind of like a hot job?
Fortune's Keep solos, so I will not be trying it until next playlist.
Yeah.
Wait, it's only in solos?
It's not in the ranked mode. And
well,
we
Fortune's Keep is only solo.
Right.
Oh, Fortune's Keep is development trios, quads, or duos.
Which is so, again, I'm going to just,
let me talk about
this. Let me step in here, bro. It's so frustrating. We get a brand new POI and there's only one game mode on it, bro. Just throw in solos, duos, trios, quads for a new POI. I just don't like, dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's so frustrating. It makes no sense to me. And I haven't even landed on the boat yet because I'm not going to go play Fortune's Keep solos, bro. That's just not what I want to do.
Is it in ranked?
No.
Wow. Yeah, definitely not having it in squads is a missed opportunity. For sure.
It doesn't make any sense to me, bro.
Like what was the point? Like they weren't on the same page. Whoever designed the playlist and said this is gonna be, it's like, you know what, we're gonna put this in a mode you won't even be able to experience it. Like
it's so unexciting. Like I don't even want to land on the boat anymore. I'll be honest. Dude, you're laughing. I'm being so serious.
No, I'm trying to like not go towards the playlist conversation, but we keep going to it. That's fine. No, we have every reason to want to talk about it, man, because it's probably the most controversial thing right now.
That's the other thing they did is obviously you guys probably didn't care too much about it. I didn't do them myself, but there's 7 different Easter eggs on Fortune's Keep.
Now?
7. No.
Or been?
Since it came out.
Okay.
There's been 7 different Easter eggs. There's a flag one. There's a other thing. There's the safe one. Like basically there's 7 different ones. And what they did is they added a reward in mid-season that if you had done them all, or if you eventually do them all, you get another reward, which is like in addition to. So you do 7, you get 7 rewards. And then on top of that, you get an 8th reward just for doing the 7. Well, they added that 8th bonus one, but obviously now you can only play it in solos. But most of these things are generally to be done in a party. Yeah. Like, because you go, okay, you're going to lock down this area. You're going to get to the next step of the Easter egg and I'm going to do this. And so it's like, it's not even intuitive. Like what are they? I don't know. It's so dumb.
It doesn't really make sense. Why? I mean, okay, look, fuck, I want to talk about it so bad, bro. I want to talk about it. Look, all right, I guess let's skim through the rest, right? They added, 4 new weapons / aftermarket parts, but technically only 2 new weapons, right? The SOA
and the knife. The blade. Yeah.
Right?
The sword. Yeah.
SOA, thoughts on that gun? Look, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm ass, but I used that SOA and I hated it, bro. I tried all day yesterday to get videos with it. Solo squads, I could only get up. I was trying to get a 40 with it. 35. I couldn't get anything with that gun. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah, I think they'll probably put out like my guess is they'll put out a patch for it to fix the little weird S-curve recoil. If you shoot the wall, you'll see it. It's not a controller gun at all, and it's barely a keyboard and mouse gun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the only viable way to use it is obviously mid-range. You definitely can't challenge somebody off a head glitch. The little wiggle, it's just too much. And then when you're solving for all the other stuff, then you have to deal with the weird iron sights that literally block half the screen.
Yeah.
Even though the iron sights are actually clean. So it's like, it needs an extra attachment. So I think they'll solve that hopefully with the patch. Otherwise it'll just go unused. Yeah. But it kills fast. So people will be like, holy shit, if they end up killing people in the first 15 bullets every time, then they'll be like, this shit is gas.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you have to actually challenge multiple teams that are shooting back and you're challenging good players that are using straight shooting guns, you're probably not going to like it.
Speaking of, I was just rocking the MCW. Yo, I love that thing. Like it definitely can be a little bit
like a kilo.
Yes. It can be a little bit of a pea shooter.
Yeah.
But
weak kilo.
It feels good. It actually feels good. So I don't know. I like it. The blade. So I saw this on Twitter. I don't know if this is a leak or if this is this gun or this sword, but the sword
Sledgehammer confirmed it.
It does like front facing assassinations.
Yeah, it happened to me, and I was playing a pub and I got assassinated from the front. I was so confused.
It also counters riot shielders,
which is good.
Yeah, from the front. Literally, you can stab them through the shield.
That's actually sick.
You literally just walk up to a riot shield and it assassinates them.
Yeah, because I saw Detonated tweet about it. He's saying this is bugged. Definitely take advantage of it. And the Sledgehammer replied, "Not a bug."
That's funny.
So it's cool.
Okay, and then what are the two aftermarket parts? I saw that I don't know if this is a change, but the Jack, the Arrival 9, or was that just a patch that they updated it? They made it like...
They updated the SMG with the Renetti.
Okay.
Supposedly it's supposed to be better. I haven't tried it yet, though. There was too much time doing other stuff yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, and then what was the last aftermarket part that they added?
Was it the one on the longbow?
Yeah, it's like it looked like a shotgun, right? Or no, there was I think the Sidewinder got like a shotgun attachment or a shotgun or Bass B. There it is. Bass B got like a single fire lever action one. You guys remember that? You guys just that one?
Yeah, no,
it's literally like a sniper but a Bass B.
That's crazy.
Have we seen any of these? Because they keep adding aftermarket parts every season, right?
Every week.
Really, every week? Oh shit.
Yeah, it's part of the weekly challenges. Are pretty much almost every week is an aftermarket part.
Has any of those ever been meta?
Well, just the pull me out. That's about it.
That's the only conversion
the
kit.
Out was one. The MCW one was good, probably for solos as like a sniper support or SMG.
Okay, that one was good. The Core
that
45
one's pretty
pistol,
good. Core 45, pretty solid with the binary trigger.
Okay.
I'm sure chat has some other ones that they swear are great, but
I guess I'm faded then, man, because I literally think about it. I'm like, okay, I cannot think of a single.
There's like 40 of them, bro. They're crazy.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot.
40 round mag, MTZ, but people only use that for the bug. Just
and then obviously the optic was the like we've obviously had the Jack BFB, but that was like for all weapons. That was pretty good until they nerfed the bullet velocity and movement. We have the glassless one, which is the optic now. That one's pretty good, but like
I like it
for
a lot.
long range, you probably still use a 2X or like a different optic you prefer. I think it's good for like the AMR, which has terrible iron sights. That one's probably good for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's not really many. Even with how many they've actually added to the game, they've added so many.
I will say that there were some that were like kind of crazy where people had fun with, like the flamethrower. Like I even saw you guys do the challenge with that. I think there's some that work really well in zombies that were good and in multiplayer. Like the shotgun with the binary trigger that they added for the haymaker. I think that one's supposed to be good for a little bit. So like it's good. Like they have their play. They're not all going to fit in Warzone. Warzone is very
mag is crazy.
Yeah, Warzone's kind of a stricter meta in general. Then I think you can get away with multiplayer because the TTKs are longer. So mag size, bullet velocity, the ranges you challenge people are a little bit different than multiplayer. There's a lot of variables.
I love that new glassless optic. It's so good.
I like it a lot. I think it's actually good.
It's broken.
I think it's good, but the problem is there's like only 3 or 4 guns that are even worth putting it on.
Really, you think so?
Like name some guns you think are worth using it on.
I just put it on
MTZ, the Bruin. I put
it on literally every single gun.
I had it on my WSP 9.
WSP 9, see, that's a cool one.
I put it on every gun that
being like 5 guns. That's like 5 guns, you know.
All right, well, that's the only ones I tried. I mean,
you wouldn't use it on Big Map though, would you?
I use I put like a customs and I use it.
Well, Big Map, it just depends on what the meta is at the time. Like so there's times where
you use right?
There's times where you use the RAM. I don't like the RAM. I would use the MTZ, and I would use probably the Jack glassless optic.
I think the Bruin is really good with it. You should try out the Bruin.
Is it good?
Yes.
I'm gonna need the class.
I was
'cause-
telling Brad that, but the problem is the Ram still is better than the Bruin.
Really.
Yo, side
I
note
think
for
so.
Brad, I saw Brad got the solo quads nuke today, which is insane.
I got to go back and watch
Somebody
that.
else did it
yeah.
too.
Really?
Somebody else had done it before. Yeah, somebody else did it before. But
Yeah,
it was
they were, like,
European
hacking.
lobbies,
They were
so you know.
Yeah, bot lobby. Yeah, Europe lobbies, bot
Oh
lobbies.
God, we're gonna get so many comments on YouTube on this. Oh,
so
man.
evade the comments.
Yeah, bot
I
lobby.
feel them
More
coming. They're
impressions, more
suppressing.
impressions.
Enter.
It doesn't
They're
count if it
coming
wasn't
through.
on NA servers. So
Yeah, NA servers first in world, basically.
Nah, bro. All right, so now let's get into the stuff that they changed in general, like the overall general stuff that they changed. Audio. What are y'all's thoughts and opinions on audio so far from everything that they changed? Honestly, for me, I actually noticed an improvement into audio, especially the flying in parachute audio. That
Yeah.
shit
That's the most noticeable.
Cracked.
Yep, I love it.
But
I will say that the audio in general, even though I don't use any loudness EQ and I don't use any cheese, the audio in general has been much better in general. I haven't used flex for a while. I've been using high alert. And I feel like the audio in general has been better. And I didn't play enough yesterday besides hearing that audio that it's not a noticeable improvement compared to what it was before.
Yeah. I guess I don't. Things just maybe it's placebo. I don't know, but everything just felt clearer. If that makes sense, like more directionally accurate. Maybe I don't know. The only thing still, it's been even since Verdansk that they haven't figured out is directional, like
Up and down is
verticality.
hard, yeah.
Up and down is just separating that audio. I never know when I'm playing Vondel who's above me, below me, right? But apart from that, it feels like it's a little bit more accurate on where people are coming from, at least from what I could tell.
Yeah, I played today without Art is War, and I played on just normal audio. I think loudest EQ, and it sounded pretty good for the most part.
Which I know they're drastically trying to improve that based off everything we've seen. Every single update, they always say like occlusion, audio occlusion, right? Obviously, it's a question for Art. He did some testings. He said like it literally feels a little bit better. So I don't know. But he did the testing. He did his YouTube video. I'm pretty sure he's gonna post something. And then
part of that is he has to rework his audio most of the time when they do make a significant change, just because of he's basically solving for the problem or weakness with the audio. So if they solve it, then he has to rework, to solve for the weakness and reduce where it's helping. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. Art's the wizard when it comes to that stuff. But I think he tweeted out the other day saying that it is better, which huge W in my book.
Yeah.
Final kill cam, boys. What are y'all's thoughts? Was this ever in the game? Like back in the day?
It bugged out in Rebirth. It bugged out and it happened a couple times. And nobody knew how or why it happened.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it ever happened in Caldera, but it was around that time where there were examples, and I had only seen it happen in a game that I was in maybe 2 or 3 times. It was super rare.
Yeah. So I think they probably like had it in the files. You know what I mean? They were like working on it to add it to Warzone. and then now it's in the game. I think it's a W. I
I literally freaked out after I won. I was like, wait, what's going on right now? And then like
Everyone's watching you win.
I was like, oh, hold on.
The only thing I would say because one part that is missing, I mean, we'll probably get into it too, but there are certain things that are missing from Warzone 1 that I think are like iconic parts that are just part of the mode, is like at the end of the match when you'd have the voice comms and you could hear everyone in the lobby, right?
I agree.
The only time you do that in the current version of the game is when you call in a nuke. For whatever reason, it works. How do you not know this? I haven't even called in a nuke and I know this, bro.
No, I thought because you also get that at the end. I don't know if it's because of like match canceled, but in rank,
match canceled.
In rank, that happens as well. Yeah.
Okay, so that's another version of it. But it should happen where people are watching the kill cam and they're able to talk.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes S&D. S&D clips are very much like that too. And that's a core part of Call of Duty. At the end of the match, when it's like final play and somebody does something stupid or clutch or cool, then you get the and everyone's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I think that should be a quality of life, even though that's so minor. I think that's cool to have those reactions in it.
I wonder if it's gonna if people are gonna make that content now, where they're like trying to get final kill cams like they used to back in the day.
For sure, 100%.
That's got to be a thing that people are doing nowadays. I don't know, or like now all the trick sharders and shit. But
what's funny is there are like 50 people talking at the end. Not 50 people aren't spectating at the end, bro. There's like 12.
True. I don't know. I think that's W edition.
And that's enough. Yeah.
It should have been added a long time ago. Huge W from them. ADS changes. So this ADS change that they did, it's again, I kind of get lost in the what's the right word? The jargon, right?
It's very hard to understand. I don't think we'll notice it.
So what it just means it's more accurate is pretty much what they're saying. Like more accurate wherever your crosshair is whenever it lands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, your reticle when it'll be synced up to where the crosshairs are when you ADS.
Okay.
Which is kind of what it did before, but I think this might stealth help snipers because when they changed it previously, it didn't seem like it was a big deal, especially for controller where we get aim assist.
Yeah.
But keyboard and mouse, it might help, but the problem is when they do these incremental changes, it's like not a big deal. But if they would have done all the 7 changes or whatever at once, it might have been more noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Art says something in the chat. It's very what they changed. It's mostly going to be for keyboard and mouse players, and they're going to notice it the most. So I'm curious to see, like, let's say Huskers, what he thinks about all the latest updates from season 2, even 2.5, and if he feels like his aim's gotten better.
I was in his stream like probably last week, and somebody asked him, "Hey, how are you liking?" He said he couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah. But like I said, it was small changes, and they've changed it. What is this, the 3rd time now? Yeah. Because they made a change, and they made another change, and they made this change, and it's like these incremental ones. So it's kind of like you don't really notice. See, even DVS, he noticed it in hipfire, not in regular, and he's keyboard and mouse only.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, he said so. Bredman said the same thing. Apparently, they only feel it in hipfire. Okay,
which is enough. That's enough. But they'll get eventually. They'll eventually get to where we want it. But you know.
Yeah, I guess all three. Now that we've had an adequate amount of time, and maybe it's a bad question to ask now that we're whatever a couple months into the game, 3 months, 4 months into the game. Ebatez, more for you, right? Like from last year to this year, do you think aim assist is the same, or has it gotten less or more than last year?
I think it's the same.
Really? Okay.
I will say though, and this could just be speculation, I was playing on an alt today and I felt like I was frying way more. So I don't know.
That's what everyone says. It's just because you got body lobbies. That's why.
I was playing on
the fresh account.
Crim account. I was playing on a Crim today.
Oh.
It was Crim 3 and I dropped, like I don't drop 20s on my top 250 account. I dropped 3 20s a day. Wait, I was playing with other top 250 players. So I don't know.
Oh, you were playing rank.
I was playing on a Crim account today with other top 250 players and I was dropping 20s and I dropped like 15 maybe on my other top 250 account. Like, you know,
placebo.
I never dropped 20s. It could be placebo. Maybe I'm just more confident on the bot account, but like, I'm just telling you, dude, I don't know. I swear I get more aim assist on the other account. I could just be talking right now, whatever. But like, dude, I'm telling you, man, I was frying today. I can't lie. I was moving. Wow. I'm like, bro, I need this guy's settings or something because I was frying on another account.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say is based off everything we know from testing and stuff like that, and even Hexsmith, basically the aim assist, if I take all the information, has basically been the same forever. Obviously in 2019, we got the further range where before we'd get 20, 30 meters of aim assist and now it goes up to 200 meters. That's a big difference. But I think the biggest difference when it comes to controller over the past 3 or 4 years, even beyond the 200 meters, is dead zones. Like default dead zones, like on Xbox 360, were like 0.2. Like imagine running at 0.2, not 0.02.
Oh, 20, like
yeah, bro. And then you have like different senses. You have ADS sense, the scalars. You have like decimals. You could put in decimals for your sense, I think. So it's like you've gotten all these tools for your aim to work better without aim assist. Yeah. But aim assist not getting touched, it's like it got better because you have better control over your aim assist. So it'll feel like more, but that's just because you as a player have more control over your aim to begin with. So like the tool that's helping you, you've gotten better and it just still helps you. And it's like, I think that is the biggest thing where it's hard because if you go back to, and it's not even possible to replicate the amount of sense changes that we have in today's game. Like if you pulled up and jumped on like COD World War II, you plug in your controller and you go, and you have a 20 dead zone and you have no ADS sense. And like, you're going to be like, oh, it feels way weaker, bro. Like, Well, no shit. You don't have control. Like, oh man, the input delay is crazy. You know, like,
I wonder. Okay, so like, do you guys? At least I feel like Modern Warfare 2019's aim assist is definitely way weaker than Modern Warfare 2's aim assist. Maybe it's the movement. I don't know. It could be the movement, but I would put like money that aim assist back then was significantly weaker than Modern Warfare 2.
When we got to Warzone 2, I was like, yo, what the fuck are we playing, dude? Like,
was
everybody
insane.
was shooting so straight. Everybody was just shooting the best.
I don't know. I've seen enough of the Hexmith stuff comparisons that I could never believe that they're different.
Dude, I don't know.
From 2019, even 2019?
Nope, none of the games.
Dude, I feel like I could put
The only one that might be different is Cold War, and that's only because it's an entirely different engine.
I don't know. Again, nobody will ever know, but just from what I remember, and I think, wait, when did Caldera come back? What game was it? I think it was during
Vanguard?
Modern Warfare 2, right? And then it was still out at the time, and so I remember it was like Nadia went back and started playing that like halfway through like the cycle.
Well, sometimes what happens is certain devs use different scalars. So, for example, if you go in one game and you put it to 6 sensitivity, and then you go to the next game and it's 6 sensitivity, those sensitivities are not the same.
Interesting.
Okay, I actually didn't know that.
So, Modern Warfare 2019, they might use different multipliers. So, for example, if you put your sense to 2020 in Modern Warfare 2019, I don't know the actual difference right now, but and then you went to Vanguard and you put it to 2020, or even like 2020 could be different speeds.
Right. That's kind of weird. Is it that dependent on like whoever's making the game at the time, you think?
Yeah, I think it used to be bigger differences before. Like before, like some games it would go like one of the games back in the day it went up to 20 or something, and then one of the games it only went up to 10. And then another game, Chad knows, and there's like another one that went up to 14 or something stupid.
Yeah.
That's actually weird.
Like, so people know because they know, oh, I use this sense forever. But if you go back to some of the old games, yeah, see, Black Ops 2 was 14. Like, what the fuck
Why
is that,
14?
Rob.
Like, Chad knows
so
what we're
random.
talking about.
That's
If
so
they've been playing
random.
COD forever, they know exactly. Like, it doesn't feel the same. A 10-10 in all games is not the same.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know maybe it's a lot more complicated, like JGOD says, but I would just talk
So
about
in
just general
reality,
aim
in your
assist.
head, if they did change it, then you're playing on, like, imagine going to, like, you play on a 7-7, right? But then when you go to, and that's on 2019, and then you jump over to Vanguard and you put it at 7-7, but that's really like playing on a 10-10.
Yeah.
Like, imagine going to 2019 playing a 10-10. You wouldn't be like, oh, the aim assist. Like, it's
Right.
really hard to be, like, I don't know. That's a little bit deeper than whatever, but yeah.
Right, JGOD going conspiracy theorist, like diving into that shit.
Well, not really. It's just more that, like, the number you're seeing is not the same number across the board.
Right. Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
the same feel of what. Like,
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
I actually had no idea either. I mean, honestly, again, I remember the first thing. I was sitting right next to Shotzi, and I was warming up during COD Next, and in my head, I didn't say nothing. I was like, yo, this just feels fucking weak on this game. And then when Shotzi goes, hey, he turns to me, he goes, yo, Hector, does aim assist feel weird to you? It feels like less. I was like, okay, now I can say it because a pro said it. I was like, yeah, bro, I agree with you. But I mean, maybe just something was different back then. But anyways, we digress. Continuing on to the next topic was Resurgence combat record. I'm confused. Was this not already in the game, like recently, or was it just for ranked?
No, it was only for ranked. Yeah, and now it's for all modes. But the thing that's missing, I believe, is a leaderboard.
Okay.
But it is accurate to my knowledge from when the game first came out.
It's for all modes, but we only have solos for Fortune's Keep, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right. So it was just in ranked as of what, a month, 2 months ago, but now it is across the board. Every single game mode there is, or all whatever playlist.
Yes, all Resurgence. I think it excludes ranked though.
Because ranked has its own now. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Heard. Okay. Which I know a lot of people care about that. And there was a certain point where we had none at all, right? Like no combat record, no KD for a while. And Was that
The
because
only way to do it was like through like a watch that was in the game. You had to like put on a watch and on the operator.
Oh
watch,
yeah, that was a different one. Or
it
you
had,
have to
like, your
message the
kills,
Call of
and it
Duty
had your
account.
deaths, and then you could like divide the kills from the deaths, and it'd tell you your KD.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think it's 100% accurate, but it has been tracking since the beginning.
yeah.
what's
Because some
y'all's
people are saying there's discrepancies.
what's y'all's opinion on KD or like combat record in general? I don't think it's a bad tool to have, obviously, but
Go ahead.
do you think that they, like, for example, they took it out of the game for a certain period of time? Do they do that because they don't want bad players to feel like they're bad? That's one. And then two, do you think it hinders, let's say, players from like, oh, I want to have a crazy KD? So they literally play for their KD instead of just playing the game, right?
No, because it did launch with the other one right off the bat. So like that part of logic kind of makes me think, oh, probably not. That's the reason.
Okay.
I would say that, like, I've never got an answer from them on kind of why that is, but I would imagine the only thing that makes logical sense is that it's more complicated than it looks. That's the only thing that makes logical sense to me, because any other thing just doesn't, it seems like that's lazy, you know, like.
I think it's really important. I think combat record's important.
Oh, 100% it's important.
I think it should always be there. I'm just curious to see what y'all think about why it wasn't in for a while.
Even being in like, I remember when I was in college and like all my college buddies used to play Warzone, and we'd always talk about like in the group chat, like, oh, like, nah, Sam's a 0.6, like Andrew, you're a 1.2. Like, it's just, you know, and like I wasn't playing tournaments or anything. That's just like as casual Warzone as it gets. You know what I mean? We all talked about our KDs, like it meant
shit to your homies and
I used to care a little bit more about my KD, quite a bit more. Like once like I was really focused and locked in on trying to improve every day type thing. But now it's just like, all right, cool. If it hovers around a 2 while I mess around with off meta guns, cool. Yeah. And that's kind of where it's at, and I'm cool with that. You know, I don't have any gameplay to impress anybody. Like I don't care. But there are where it's like people where they're at like a 1.6 and maybe they're like, all right, cool. They don't care that it's a 1.6. They care that just in a month that it'll be a 1.8, that they improved, not necessarily where the number is.
That I feel like now people don't care as much about their KD, at least from what I've seen, or even I don't think they should. Like back in the day, KD was like everything. Like, oh, what's your KD in multiplayer, right? Now,
well, part of the problem too is SBMM. Like,
true.
If I went out of my way to only try and get the easiest lobbies, which would involve me either VPNing to a different region where it's morning time, or adjusting my schedule so I wake up at like 7 in the morning and in game.
The Symphony lobbies.
Make sure I have the right amount of, like, I'm awake. I got the perfect amount of caffeine. I'm not going OD on my schedule. Like, I'm literally just gaming. Solo queue so I get easier lobbies. Solo no fill. Like, then like my KD would just go up. But outside of that boundary, it's like, oh, okay, I get shitty teammates, or like everyone in the lobby shoots straight.
Yeah, because which I do. Fuck, I want to go back to the playlist talk. We'll get into, because I do have quote unquote conspiracy theory of SBMM playlist update, all that shit, which we'll get into. But not going back, but moving on to the next topic, right? It's the weapon balancing, which we kind of dabbled a little bit when we were talking about the overview of what we thought about this update. They did a lot. I mean, I don't want to go over everything in detail. They did buff, nerf a lot. But sadly, nothing really got, metas didn't change, right? They gave a buff to the MCW. I definitely think it's viable now. I don't know if it's necessarily in the meta, but it does feel like a kilo. Now, it feels like a kilo, maybe a slightly weaker kilo when the kilo was good. And the Holger 556, have y'all tried that?
556 I haven't. He has though. He said
it's bussin'. It is bussin'.
Is it
I
good?
don't like the 40 round mag or the low bullet velocity.
So I used a build today, and it had like an iron sight, and it was bussin'. I can't lie, it was hitting. But I was on Resurgence ranked, not big map, you know.
Okay.
So over Resurgence, 40 round mag especially. I also been running sleight of hand too instead of double time, which I really like especially on Resurgence. So I think that's why I also like it a lot. So
I mean, honestly, I low key, I wish there was guns. Do you think there's a secret quote unquote gun that we haven't tried yet that is meta and nobody knows?
No.
Because
sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was gonna say something a little bit off different, but I think the meta, honestly, in my opinion, I think is pretty decent right now. Because like I said, I was using the Bruin today. Teammates were using the Ram. I tried out that Holger, which I was using for like 10 games, and I was frying with it. As far as like the ARs, like you're saying, the MCW is decent. I think there's a lot of solid.
I think what'll
options.
happen though is that it's unfortunate. What'll happen is that they're gonna nerf the Ram, right? And then like you're gonna.
Wait, my shit just crash? Hold on, guys. I can't hear y'all. Oh, my dog deafened me, bro.
You muted or
There you go. My dog deafened on my foot pedal,
no
bro.
No worries. So what I'll go ahead and repeat it is that what's going to end up happening is they're going to nerf the Ram, and then everyone's going to be complaining about how every gun feels like trash.
right.
You think so? I feel like there's good.
Because everything
good enough.
there's going to be a lot of good guns that are like right there. And it's literally going to be one of those things where it's going to be like, oh, every gun feels like trash now. Because secretly, people do like when one gun is better than everything else. Even though like we want balance, so there's variety, and you can jump in. Literally, everyone's going to go, oh, everything feels like trash. That's what's going to happen. I already know it.
Look, I think we can all agree that we all like it when one gun is better than the other, right? That's
for a
pretty
short
normal.
period of time, for like a week or two.
That's the key is for a short period of time. The thing is, I think we all thought that yesterday we were gonna get a meta change, and finally, no more Ram 7 over MTZ, and then
they did nerf the Ram though. To be fair, they did. It just
not enough.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, is that on paper it shouldn't be the meta. Like realistically, it shouldn't. But everyone's accustomed to using it. It still does the job. It's like a jack of all trades. And the hair that they're gonna push it far enough where it's not meta, people just stop using it.
Which is that a bad thing?
No, but the problem is that like they thought they did enough with doing this range change to open up the middle and give it a little bit like more flexibility. And other guns do kill quick. Like he said, he had fun with the Holger, and you had fun with the MCW.
Yeah.
If we had a hard meta, you couldn't have fun with those.
Yeah.
So we are probably in a good state, and when it does get nerfed, it'll get nerfed where it's probably unusable. And everyone's going to complain how the meta sucks because everything sucks. And then part of that has to do with, oh, I don't have this go-to gun that can go back to like my meta clip where it's like, well, if you get shit on this, well, you're getting shit on everything because now it's a skill issue, you know? So people don't like that. They like it to be the gun, the reason that they're losing gunfights, not them. And that's going to be what's going to happen. It's good though. I like it right now.
I think it's solid. I
guess it's cool. It's like, remember, I don't know if you guys remember in Cold War back in the day when Cold War integration happened, there was obviously meta guns at the time, but it did feel like you could use almost any gun and still fry. Like you could still use like the PPSH when it came out. You could still use like a bunch of different guns, but there was always the MAC-10 was insane, right? Like the MAC-10 was nuts. FFAR was good, right? But for the most part, like you could use a lot of guns. So what's different now, right? Like right now, I'm happy with quote unquote the meta, I guess, but I'm just tired of like Ram again. I'm tired of
also I think things
MTZ.
change as well too, because the map plays a big role in it. I think that's one of the things that like everyone gasses Rebirth Island, but the reality is what made Rebirth Island was the design of the map allowed for more variety in guns. I think Fortune's Keep I think does a decent job at that as well. Vondel, not so much. It's mostly close range engagements, stairwell fights, rooftop to rooftop, usually within short distances. You're not really having to beam far. Ashika is just a weird map. I can't think it kind of leans more towards long range, but you know, it is what it is. So I think that's a big part of Rebirth Island. Isn't even the map like, oh, it's Rebirth Island. It's that a lot more guns become viable because certain ranges get accentuated a little bit differently, and you could play for medium, long range, short range, and it ends up balancing out the guns well. So I think that goes to your comment. That's why it worked that way. So if like you look at like the map and the flow of the map, even on Urzikstan, there's certain things where you'll go, oh, you know what? I'm going to use long range engagements for this. Like this is a long range heavy or short range heavy. And that's kind of where it leans into the meta of what's good because of the heightened engagements. If the meta range for engagements on Urzikstan was over 100 meters, more people would be sniping and more people would be using stuff like the SVA. They wouldn't be using the RAM.
I think in this game, like, I don't know if it's just bullet velocity, which I actually am really happy.
Velocity's trash.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I actually like it because, I mean, bro, Verdansk. I don't. I've been watching a lot of videos of Verdansk. You could map from
150
literally
easy,
bro, from across POIs. You could map people because of how crazy the bullet velocity was back in the day. I don't mind that, right? But again, I just going back to my statement was, I wish we got on yesterday and was like, yo, this is the new gun, this is the new meta, and like we're here again. I kind of feel like it's kind of the same thing as last year. RPK meta, Cronin meta, and then just right now it's been MTZ/RAM. But you know, when did the RAM become meta?
2 months ago, I think.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
Was it 2 months?
Probably around the mid-season. It was kind of slept on for a bit. And then I think, even though other people made videos on it, I think Metaphor kind of popularized the specific build that solved one of the biggest issues, which was the visual shake. Even though other people probably made the loadout way before, it's not like loadouts are unique, even though we got like 1,000 attachments. Generally, people use the same attachments.
Yeah.
But he definitely popularized it, and people started like trying it out, and it became a very good build that a lot of people went to. So I think that was part of it, because it didn't get buffed in any way that made it like better. It's just people, oh, I actually like it now, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I actually like, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, how long have we actually had these metas, right? Because I know they said it in the blog. They want to try to aim for a season, every season of like new metas. And I mean, maybe that's why it wasn't hit as hard. I still see people using RAM 7. I still see people using MTZ. But I mean, now I guess they introduced the Bruin, and people think the Bruin is in contention to be in the meta. Ebatez used it in ranked, and you said you were dropping 20s?
Well, he said Holger.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I was using the Holger and the Bruin today, but the Bruin, I used the Bruin with the 60-round mag, and then I also tried taking off the 60-round mag and using like the normal 100-round standard mag, and I thrown high grain with it. Dude, I'm telling you, it's really good. Like, and I was using sleight of hand as well with that, so the reload speed's super quick.
Did it feel like an AR?
Yeah, movement speed.
Not with the 100 probably.
The movement speed on is pretty good. ADS isn't bad at all.
It got buffed, so that
you
helps.
should give it a shot for sure. And I didn't use it with the glassless optic. I used it with the Choreo. So I'm assuming it'd be even better with the glassless optic.
Yeah, I tried it last week before they modified some things. I didn't like it. I tried 3 different builds while I was streaming. I was like, none of these builds are...
A Bruin?
Like, yeah. It's just the problem with it is the bullet velocity is when you have to solve for that, then you had the visual. But it got updated, so maybe the ADS is better and it just feels better. I don't know. I didn't try it this week yet.
I saw Nick using it, and it did feel like it had a lot of visual recoil. But he did have the 2.5 optic on it, so I don't know.
That's part of the problem too. Is it feels like a Modern Warfare 2 gun. To be honest, it feels like it's missing the barrel that gives you the less visual firing shake. It missing the stock that does that. It's missing missing attachments that it would have if it was an MW3 gun. I don't know why.
That's actually the glasses optic. I think the glasses optic really like gets rid of that.
It does help. Yep.
JGOD be spitting, bro. I don't know how you do it. JGOD, maybe I'm Glazer now, but you like consistently spit, bro. It's kind of crazy sometimes.
You're glazing.
Yeah, I might be glazing.
Bro's glazing insanely.
That's my duo right there. That's my duo. All right. Okay. Wait, you're my duo? My bad, Ebatez. My bad.
Yo, babe, I'll be in bed soon. Yeah.
That's some jealousy right there, bro. All right. So they nerfed and buffed a lot of guns. I don't even want to get into it. Have you guys tried the RAM 9? The RAM 9, they pretty much buffed all the attachments, not necessarily the gun itself. HRM, I actually don't mind the sub-meta. I see HRM being probably the most heavily used. RAM 9, I still feel like it's faster time to kill, but for whatever reason,
it's not
HRM.
feel. It is faster time to kill. Okay. And if you get a headshot, it deletes. The problem is the 10 meters is very volatile. HRM, it gets you like up to 17 meters even after the nerf. So with the normal build, so it feels really reliable and consistent, and you kind of have an expectation on how fast the gun will kill. With the RAM, if you're barrel stuffing, you're probably gonna win. If you get that headshot, even one, you were deleting them, vaporizing them, and it doesn't even feel like, oh shit, this thing hits. But as soon as you go 11 meters, it's dog compared to something. Like, it's not dog, but I'm being dramatic. But you're better off using the AMR at 12 meters. You're better using, there's like seven other SMGs that are better at 12 meters.
I love the SMG meta right now. I was even using the WSP9, like I said, dude, and that thing is very good. It's unforgiving, so if you miss a bullet, you're probably gonna die. But like, it fries, and it's super strong mid range. HRM, I tried like the long barrel on it. That thing was feeling great.
Good too.
The short barrel, it's got good mobility even on the long barrel. The short barrel, and I tried no barrel on it. It feels great. So I really like the sub meta right now.
Do you think they should? I mean, and JGOD, I mean, I know you know. I feel like you know a lot about this kind of shit. Do you think they should grab certain guns from past metas, right? And almost kind of
copy them?
Yeah, and kind of copy them in a new name, right? Like, let's say, I don't know, what's like the OTS.
Hey, how do you know they're not doing that?
But do you think like shit?
Well, here's what I would say if let's see if it actually happens, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So for the RAM, I think they should buff the range to like 15, 16 meters and then remove the headshot bonus. Not the headshot bonus, but the fact that it only takes one headshot to lower the TTK.
Yeah.
Then it'll be like even. We'll end up having a 2-weapon hard meta, and then the AMR will be there too for people who want even further range or a little bit different nuance. And if they really want to make money, they can sell a blueprint on the AMR that gives it like ridiculously good iron sights.
Yeah.
And that'll solve like a ton. That's free. Go ahead and take it.
Hey.
So those two things would solve that, and both of those guns would be like in contention with the meta because you get an extra attachment on the AMR if you didn't have to run an optic.
True, because that's those sites are doggy.
It's like this, and like it covers your whole screen. It's stupid.
That's just
it's so stupid.
I mean, look, like imagine, okay, like imagine we had. I mean, maybe they do that. Maybe they are doing that. But okay, imagine OTS, one of the most fun guns back in the day. They copied the strafe speed, copied the ADS, copied everything. Literally copied it almost a T, but just named it something else and made it look different. But then it played out exactly like that. I don't know, Mac 10, right? Or AMAX, Kilo, the Growl, right? Imagine if they did these certain guns and they just copied the exact
I think a Growl
stats.
is going to come. I think a Growl is definitely going to come. Yeah, because if we know that they just copy guns that we've already had, like for example, they came out with the Ram 9, which is the Ram 7. We had the ISO, which is the other ISO, which is the other ISO. We had the Lockman, which was the other Lockman, which was the other Lockman, which was the other Lockman. But with this one, we have the HRM, which when you do put on the long barrel and you put the short barrel, it has Growl iron sights. So what I'm thinking is they're going to come out with an AR. HRM.
Yeah.
It's going to be the HRM 556. That's probably what it's going to be called because they just changed the ammo type, and then that'll be the Growl.
Bro.
And they'll probably even like play nostalgia and give us the name of the barrel is going to be the Archangel barrel instead of whatever the hell it's called.
Call of Duty's like, damn it, he's fucking leaking everything right now. Like,
that's literally what they're gonna do.
They're right there, like, all right, JGOD, like, oh, we're cooking. Okay.
We already know that's what's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna be like season 5. It's gonna be like Rebirth Island, or Verdansk. You get the meta again or some shit, you know.
But okay, so what's the deal with the names, right? Like, I understand they like licensing issues. They can no longer do that.
It's less about the licensing. It's not about licensing anymore.
Why can't they just name it differently?
It's because of that other topic that we probably won't get into, but the safety of schools and public and those things that happen with real weapons that they don't want to be associated with.
Okay, so yeah, I heard about that too, right? So why
That's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. So why
because
not?
Then the news goes, oh, they're using this. By the way, they played this popular Call of Duty game using the same weapon.
Okay, so but here's my so here's what I'm wondering is why not? Why go Lockman 556, Lockman 762 when you could just give it a completely random different name, but have them separate names? So not, oh, what's Lockman is that? Like,
I agree.
Why is
it's annoying, but it keeps it simple technically because on paper they use the Lockman 762 because it shoots 762. They use the 556 because it shoots 556, and then the 9 is the 9mm. So it's basically just the category of weapon it's in.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's lame. It is lame though. Because no one's going to look back on this COD and go, ooh, yeah, this gun with the 9 in it.
Oh, you remember the Lockman 76541? Bro, that shit was lit, right? Yeah, bro. So I understand. I think I had this conversation with Chat the other day about what you just said, that it's like companies don't want them being associated with games or whatever. But But
and because the news jumps on that right away.
Right.
Like somebody does something stupid, they play GTA and they slapped around a hoe, and like what the hell? Like that's not what they like. Come on, like someone's not gonna jump because they play GTA. They're gonna do some craziness. We know that's not how gaming works, but it is what it is.
So like I just hope that in like let's say for example next year Treyarch, I hope that they get to the point where they're just like, you know what, like let's just have. Who cares what they call it, bro? Like, as long as they're very different names, so they can distinguish, bro. Like, even, bro, I know this is just who cares about streamers, right? But, bro, even for us, it's like, or even YouTube, Lockman 556 or exclamation
mark. It's so lame.
Lockman. No, it's not. Sorry, guys, don't do exclamation mark Lockman. Exclamation mark Lockman 556 and exclamation mark Lockman 762. Like, it just there's no. I feel like no guns have identity.
So I will say this is like. If you actually look through the bundles, a lot of the bundles have like these one name names that are way cooler than the weapon names. And I'll even like, you'll do a contract or something, or you'll do something, you pick up a bundle and then it's like, oh, what the hell gun is this? Because they obviously all look the same when they have random attachments.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, the name's kind of cool. And then you find out, oh, it's just the MCW or whatever. And it's like, oh, why couldn't it have that name? Like that name is better. So they have a large selection of names they could choose from that would be way better than 556, 762, 9.
I mean, I know this is not on our on our thing, but I want to talk about this real quick, boys. Okay, allegedly, I'm gonna throw out the word allegedly before I start getting in trouble. But
I know
let's talk about Gulf War next year, right? Wait, have they even confirmed that that's what it's called, or is it? Do I have to say allegedly?
I think that's a leak.
Okay.
I think it's still a leak. Until the official teaser drops, it's a leak.
Right. Okay. So allegedly the next game, Gulf War, right? So allegedly Treyarch had 15 to 18 months, I don't know the exact number, to make Cold War, right? And some people consider that their worst game. I thought it was great. What is y'all's, like, now they've had 4 years, 48 months to cook up Gulf War. What are y'all's thoughts on Gulf War, how it's going to play out? Obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen the leaks on Twitter, but I hear that shit's about to be literally nuts from all the Twitter accounts that we've been seeing, that it's literally insane. Well, but I mean, again, you never know.
I think there's a couple different important parts. I think in terms of Warzone, I think it has no impact, to be fair, because they're making a multiplayer game and they're making zombies. So I think zombies, it's probably going to be round based, which they've been kind of like trying to get the community on. They're going to probably have some good main Easter eggs. Hopefully it launches with 2 or 3 maps or whatever, something like that, like they did back in BO4. I don't remember, chat my nose, 2 or 3 maps. And that could be pretty solid. In terms of multiplayer, hopefully they launch with like 14 maps. But based off what they did with MW2, where it was like, it's just a reskin, we probably won't get a lot of remade maps, and those will drop as DLC. We'll get a fresh lineup of like 14 maps, maybe like 3 or 4 in there, like firing range or something like there. Yeah. Where people are like, oh shit, let's go. So I think that's what they're going to do. We'll probably have a finished combat record. The camos will probably work when the game drops. There'll probably be levels and all the features that you expect from the game will probably work, and it'll be polished. But like, that's not going to impact Warzone. They're working together and they'll have a map and features will probably transfer over. They're probably talking about stuff like they brought Mountaineer and those types of things. They'll probably figure out, all right, the weapons, how are we going to integrate this? Are weapons carrying over? Are skins carrying over? There's going to be a lot of technical stuff. All I can say is that the game will probably look good. Not like Cold War. That was the problem with aesthetically. The graphics didn't look good. But I think they're going to have a finished game. All that stuff, so it'll feel good right out the gate, which is good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you said it's not going to affect Warzone, but right, like, what if movement, based off all the leaks that are all over Twitter, right, the movement's crazy or whatever the fuck, right? Like, if that changes, that would more than likely change to Warzone
that's
too,
an
right?
assumption. Yeah, that's an assumption.
The thing is they can't.
But that's not guaranteed.
They're not going to stray away too far from what this year's game is. They like to ease people into things. So it's the same way that I feel like they went from Warzone 2 to this game. I feel like for the most part, it felt like when we were playing it next, it's just it was the same Warzone 2, but with movement. Like, honestly, in my opinion, when we first played it.
I feel like I disagree for this next game. I think it's going to be like Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, where they're able to do whatever the fuck they want. Treyarch, like, again, I feel like Treyarch never misses, bro. Like they literally, at least, hey, I like
My biggest fear is that they're gonna fix a lot of things and give us a lot of quality of life changes this year, and we're getting to the next game and we're gonna be missing a lot of those changes. I feel like that's my fear. And it's an example of that is that we had in Calderas, we had the thing where if they PA'd and you ran into it, you got the noti, and then like all of Warzone 2, we didn't have that. And then it like they slowly added, you know, the new PA thing. So I don't know. I think we're gonna lose a lot of quality of life changes that we already have now, but hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I think they'll just continue to evolve. Since it's within the same engine, to my knowledge, they're using the same IW 2019 engine. That's what they've used for the past. Well, no, they used that in 2019. MW2 is the same engine, and even though they changed it, the base was the same.
Right.
So them tinkering around with what they had in Warzone, they could change stuff, like the slide and the canted aim, like with certain like the slide and aim down sight. That was part of that. And hopefully they can just go, ooh, we're gonna put, turn these on,
Yeah, I honestly, from what, like,
I don't think we'll ever have. But I don't think we'll ever have it where what we saw when we went to Warzone 2, where they said starting
drastic.
No, never. I don't think that'll ever happen. They'd be stupid to ever let that happen.
I low key feel like next year they're gonna get rid of backpacks. I feel like it's gonna feel completely different. Like just gonna feel like completely new. Like at least that's what I think. Going from Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, how drastic that change was. I feel like that's what's gonna happen next year with Treyarch.
But a change like that, I think it's like they can make changes where it simplifies the game and not complicates it. So I think a change like that, it doesn't really impact the gameplay, because it's kind of one of those things where you go, you might not even notice the backpack initially, because you'll be like, oh shit, I'm used to managing my backpack. Nope, I just play the game, so it'll just simplify the game quite a bit. Versus when like you play it after not having a backpack, then it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? Right. Oh shit, I gotta deal with this. When it's gone, you'll be like, oh damn, we never even needed backpacks.
Right.
Yeah. Basics would be nice.
Yeah,
they're gonna up the amount of plates you can carry, probably 8 by default, 12 by having a satchel or something. They're just gonna take the best parts and get rid of the stuff that doesn't make sense. They probably just didn't have enough time to cook to get rid of the backpacks.
True. They probably had no, like, with how quick the turnaround time was, they probably were just like, oh, we'll let Treyarch handle that, right? Like, but I don't know, man. Again, like, fuck. I keep having this discussion with chat, and I'm like, look, like that whole, like I feel like Treyarch just rarely misses, and I don't know how it's all gonna work. I hope, Treyarch is able to just cook something crazy for Warzone, or maybe that's not the case. They're just focusing on multiplayer, and obviously, I would assume Raven would be in charge of integrating whatever changes they make into there. But yeah, I mean,
I don't think they're gonna focus on multiplayer.
Treyarch, like, you don't think that?
Yeah,
you think they're gonna focus on everything?
In my opinion, I think Warzone is going to be the focus, in my opinion, moving forward. I mean, especially with like the news we've heard about the CDL and stuff. I really don't see. I think multiplayer it's not dying. It's obviously the backbone of Call of Duty, but I do think they're gonna focus on zombies in Warzone, in my opinion, heavily.
And so zombies, JGOD. So you know a lot about the zombies community and just everything. I feel like you know a lot.
Well, I know enough, but I don't know. I don't go back 10 years knowing zombie stuff. What I will say though is there is a portion of the community that got split when Cold War came out, because up until that point it was pretty much just round based, and with mainline Easter eggs. So you do these quests, you go up high rounds. There was different communities segmented. Just like with multiplayer, there's knifing community, shotgun community, sniper, pub stomper. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all those communities still exist. With zombies, they have their own set of communities where they do specific challenges. They do specific weapons. Well, when Cold War came out, they created another offset mode, which was Outbreak, which is the open world mode. Based off what they've said publicly, they said that it got actually pretty even, where there was an even number of people of zombies playing the open world map and the round based, and both people swear that their mode is the best. So what ends up happening is, now fast forward here, now we've gotten this mode, and this mode is closer to Outbreak, not quite the same. It is an open world experience, and they've gained a lot of new people. So I'd imagine the open world people definitely outnumber the the other people, but the diehards are still in the round based.
Right,
Like,
right.
they're gonna be there no matter what. Like, you know, the little meme, I'm gonna be there no matter what. You know, so it is what it is. But when this comes out, there's gonna probably be some good core round based, and I would imagine that High Moon or whoever's gonna be working on the current zombies experience, it's not gonna disappear next year.
That was my question, is what do you think?
I don't think
next
it
year?
will, because it's not like DMZ people, where DMZ was like an offshoot of like Plunder, and like the community was much smaller than zombies. It's not even remotely close. Like, it's a joke how small DMZ was. So like in terms of this, I don't think they can get rid of it. So I think they'll just expand it to the new map, and then they'll have their zombies map. And what'll probably happen is at launch, this is all hype, you know, I'm making it up in my head, like what
What makes most
hypothesizing.
sense, right?
Yeah, is they'll probably launch. We usually get multiplayer and zombies a month before. That'll all be round based. And then when we get the brand new Battle Royale map, we'll also get a brand new zombies map. That's big map. That's my thought process.
Okay, so I mean that's pretty much what I was gonna ask you, is with Treyarch obviously taking over next year, do you think they're going to go back to round base, or are they going to go?
Oh no, they're 100% doing round base. That's pretty much confirmed, I think, for next year.
Oh really? Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed for next year. But the other problem is, like what I was saying earlier, is they split the community in Cold War, where people were like hardcore open world. But the problem between our current one and the open world one of Outbreak is Outbreak's Easter egg was way, way better. And the steps to get to the Easter egg and the replayability was way better. Even though the systems and everything and the schematic system and all that is fun in the current one, the other Easter egg was way better. So when they do they need a big map Easter egg. It needs to exist. It needs to exist. The other problem with this one is, like, there's 20 other people on the map. I wish I could load into zombies and not see a soul. I don't want any mercs. I don't want any human AI. I don't want any AI. I don't want any, like, I just want zombies and no other people there. I don't want them grabbing my contract. And I want to do what I want to do. And I think most people think that. Like, I should be able to play solo offline.
So, but while still being able to play with people as well, like if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they want offline. I want to be able to pause it mid-match. Always on like it, pause it when there's 20. Like, there's so many things, zombies, like, it's mad annoying. Like, even Vanguard, they didn't add a pause button till like halfway through the game's life cycle or something stupid.
You could just exfil.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. See, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's seriously wild.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of question marks, but based off all the leaks all over Twitter, next year is, I don't know.
Round-based.
Next year should
Also,
be lit.
Also, one of the other things, I'm just reading chat, is the other part that made Outbreak in Cold War like a better experience than this one is, right now you only have like essentially 3 tiers of difficulty. You have the outer ring tier 1, tier 2, the yellow, and then the red is the tier 3. And then that's kind of capped. But if you go in there with meta weapons, you're going to just destroy everything. In Outbreak, it can continually get harder because you could just continually flip rounds on the big map. So theoretically, you could play for like 5 hours on one map and it just gets harder and harder and harder. Zombies get more aggressive. So that you're missing that challenge aspect where you go, oh, I pushed around 50 in big map. Like, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is like, okay, I kind of already know what to expect. I can choose my level. Oh, this is too hard. Let me go back a tier. Like, no, it's the dynamic changes.
They haven't played zombies since the launch, right? Because of the camos, but did they add a 4th zone?
Technically, people calling it the 4th just because it's easy, like us calling Warzone 3, but it's probably closer to like 2.5. And then there's another one that's like closer to 3.5, somewhere in there. It's not actually a 4.
So there is, so it's like harder than the red right now.
Slightly. Yeah. If you go into an Elder Sigil Dark Ether, it will be harder. But the other one is like more of like a 2-ish, 2.5. It's not actually a 3 or 4.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
But they say 4 just because, like, we say Warzone 3, even though it's still just Warzone.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, side note, we digress, but I did want to talk about next year's game and what the potential it has or whatever. But going back to the gameplay, don't worry, we're getting to the good stuff. PDS, we'll quickly go over this gameplay changes. PDS, I haven't even used it. I haven't even found one. I feel like is it in
I
Resurgence?
found one. I only found one. Yes.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I found one,
Really?
but I didn't have a need for it. I was playing with randoms. We didn't make it to top 5, so it wasn't useful.
I haven't even used it. I'm assuming it's good, but they did say is it 20 seconds or 30 seconds? And then once into the last 2 zones, it cuts in half. So it's 15?
I don't know the exact numbers, but that's accurate.
Okay,
I
something
think
like that.
It's good enough where it's viable, but it's not broken. I think it's a good addition to the game.
Okay, all right.
Oh, also the other part, when I was reading it, I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if you threw this one next to a buy station and opened it up. It does that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, actually,
Yeah, it's in the notes.
that's sick.
Yeah, it says, let me see. Find.
So it's
buy.
15 seconds, then it's okay. So I think it's 15 seconds normally. Then last 2 zones, it goes to 7.5 because I know it cuts in half in the last 2 zones. I just don't know what the actual seconds is for the PDS.
What's it called? PDS?
Yeah, PDS.
I don't know the actual, what is the actual name so I could find in the patch notes?
Is it not PDS?
No, I said that's an acronym.
Wait, actually,
Personal like the deployment system or no?
Yeah, it says, where's it at? PDS, no, that's PDSW. Yeah, it says the safe zone will last for a minimum of 16 seconds or until it's destroyed, and then that duration is cut in half.
so 16.
Yep.
That's right. Personal, yeah, decontamination.
Decontamination station, yeah.
We just call that shit PDS.
Wait, did they remove that part?
I can't find that.
I know I read it in my patch note video.
I cannot find it, but
Okay.
I'm scrolling through it right now. Oh no, personal. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, 15 seconds.
Yep.
15 seconds and then 50% cut in half in the final 2 circles. So that is, and then it
15
says
seconds is a long time, by the way. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is, bro. And it's a 6-meter radius, which is not bad at all. So and then you said you can throw a JGOD onto a buy station and open that shit
I think
up?
that's what it said. I think that's what it said. I have to read the notes again. I have to skim it. I thought I found it somewhere in there when I was reading through.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
Well, the potential for plays is drastically improved. I'm glad they added it. I don't know why they took it out to begin with, but then Bunker Buster, we talked about it a little bit. It's a lot less impactful than what we thought. I thought it was gonna be a huge airstrike of just gas grenade, but it's very small, right?
Yeah, it's pretty small. It's just more so annoying. I mean, I don't know. You could be like high ground trying to shoot people in the air, and you get bunker bombed, and then you're like, okay, now I have to just sit here and tank gas. Like, it's just, if you have a gas mess, I'm pretty sure it works.
Is it like a gas grenade where like you're super slow running through it? How big is the radius?
Pretty big.
It's not small. It doesn't. I mean, it's not small and
Really?
it's not big. It's smaller than a mortar strike for sure.
So like those circle buildings on Fortune's Keep, it probably fits like one of those.
Okay, all right, that's a good size. I mean, is it in doing what it's intended to do, where it's getting all the rats out, or not?
Not really. I mean, I just hope it's not in rank. I want them to take it out of ranked. I don't know why it's in ranked.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my own. Maybe I'm just complaining, but
Okay. Well, okay. Now, and then what they did was, what are y'all's thoughts on the throwing knives? This was super controversial all over Twitter.
I saw that. Yeah,
I'm very
surprisingly.
surprised that it's controversial. People keep saying, and I disagree.
Hey, people are just self-reporting. It's a skill issue. No, I'm just lying.
So I saw Reed Boy. I saw Reed Boy say that, and I was like,
that's all I was joking.
I was so confused. I was like, bro, throwing knives are literally the most easiest
Annoying.
shit. They're the most easiest shit in the world. And he said people were self-reporting. And I was like, I was like, bro, any bot can just, aim assist is literally broken. You can just aim and throw and it's a one shot. Like, I feel like they took 0 skill. Now, with it being a headshot only, I feel like if anything now, it takes skill to use. If you get one shot, like throwing knife headshot, it's like, okay, well, that motherfucker had to actually aim at your head.
The difference is too is like they move so fast. Like you think about a Semtex. Like Semtexes are kind of like do like they're like slow.
You
but
can't
throwing
avoid
knives-
them.
Throwing knives are like instant. Like you pull them out instant, and they like the bullet. I guess bullet velocity. I don't know what the correct term is. The speed of it is like insane. It's like crazy. So I mean, dude, yeah, the fact that like they one shot for so long is insane. I don't know why people are upset that they don't one shot anymore. Like
They do one shot headshot.
to the
Like
head.
to the head. Yeah, there's still an
Yeah.
option if you want to
Get it.
If you
Yeah.
want to use the throwing knife, go ahead.
It's a super risk reward now. Before it wasn't. I felt like it was way too forgiving before. Where
Yeah. It
was
like
such a
I got
bailout.
some and I'm like, yeah, I thought that like that dude's pissed. Like, and I don't
Yeah.
even feel good about the kill. Like I get it. They make some for like if you look at, but you know what's funny? If you look at the people who are pissed off about it, most of the time you click their profile and they have like a pinned comment of them knifing 3 dudes and like that's their play of the game and they got one gunfight that they won and they killed 3 people with knives like, oh yeah, I did my quad play. It's like that's why you're pissed.
I don't know. I did not expect anybody to be like, yo, like that shit. I can't believe they took it out. I always thought it was a cop out for unskilled players and it was just so easy to just throwing knife.
I was very surprised that people were like upset about it for some reason.
My opinion, super huge W. It sucked literally just getting one-shotted by people with just crazy ass aim assist, and you know, I don't know. I didn't like it. They nerfed frags, which I think we can
It was
all,
much needed.
Yeah,
Much
it was pretty
needed.
broken. It was pretty fucking broken. Frags were literally insane, and now they're not. At least
Especially
not
with
as much.
backpacks, especially with backpacks auto filling your slot. Like if you had 4 nades in your backpack and you could just throw 2 nades and then it autofill and then you throw 2 more, it was such a spam, like broken like system that we had. So
Yeah, I'm glad that they're making changes because now it kind of seems like Semtexes are going to be the go-to thing from now on.
sure.
Yeah.
And then now going into Warzone ranked, what Ebatez, you kind of discussed on this. What do you think about the SR changes and everything that they did?
I think they're great. I'm a little confused why they changed the win. I think
They
they're
didn't
making
change the win.
Well, sorry, I'm sorry, my bad. The top
Placement
3.
points.
So
Yes.
now you have to win the game. You have to win the game in order to go up at the top 250. I can't really speak on anything under than that. You know, I'm not too.
I think
familiar with
what
the lower
happened is
ranks.
at third they made it to 60 instead of 80, so it's a
Right.
20-point difference.
So they're just rewarding the win, not rewarding the win more, but necessarily like you get punished more for not winning.
I will say that on paper it sounded like it was bad, but then I seen Biffle gain like 800 SR in 6 hours, so clearly
Yeah.
people are gaining.
I don't
so
think
it's
it's.
like
I know. I saw top 250 players. I think it doesn't hurt the top 250. I think it hurts the people at the lower because they. I mean,
Well, then
they
that's a
don't win
good thing,
games.
right? That's a good thing, though, right? Because maybe they,
Yeah.
if they changed that, the reason for that was probably because there was too many people going up too much in
Right.
the in the middle / lower tiered
Right.
players, right? So
Because for the most part, top 250 players are winning every game regardless. Like
True.
for the most part, we're winning most of our games. I mean, if you're not, then you're getting second place, whatever. You're going to lose an extra 20 SR, which, you know, for top 250, it does hurt. But for the most part, top 250 players are winning their games. So I don't think it affects them that much.
I personally don't mind the changes.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
Taps are gone. Ranked feels good whenever I do play it. I'm kind of
Yeah.
dabbling in both ranked and just getting videos for YouTube. But like, I don't mind the changes. I think they're good
I like
right
ranked.
now.
I think rank's great.
It's still. I feel like it very much is still. You have to be good to climb up the SR tree, whatever. Like all the not. You can have bad days, and I mean, bro, we saw Gorgo. Mutex and them go down 1,000 SR in a day,
Yeah.
and they were checked. They definitely were checked. So I definitely think you can have your good days, you can have your bad days.
For sure. I've been seeing a lot of like good players go from like top 250 to iridescent. It's been really funny. Like I think DJ Moss right now, dude, like he was like 70 and he's iridescent. Like it's so
Really?
funny. Like, yes. Like
I
he
found it,
dropped.
Hector. I found it. It wasn't in the patch notes, but it was in the blog from the day prior. So we need some clarification on it, or somebody needs to test it.
Okay.
On the thing, I'll DM you it. Because this is what it said on the blog. I was like, I know I read it. I literally talked about it, but it wasn't in the yesterday's patch. It says, looking for mobile gas protection, attach the PDS to your vehicle and clear the way. The field upgrade can also be deployed in the water and near a buy station to reactivate it.
That was in
That's
the
what it says
blog
in the
beforehand?
blog the day before.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah. I mean,
like
I'm glad that they
it's
told us,
snuck
but
under the radar, but that could be like insane place.
bro, imagine like being so far down in the gas and then you have a car right next to you, you throw it like, oh, bro, you can.
And you buy back, like,
The potential for that is kind of crazy. Underwater too is kind of nuts. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. That's coll. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. I've been playing for the last 2 days. I haven't seen it once.
To go back to what you're talking about ranked, I think ranked's actually in a really good spot right now. My opinion. I really like it. I think the whole system's good. Taps are gone. I like now that when you're dead, you get points for your kills or teammates' kills. I think that helps out a lot with just, making the hero play, buying back both your teammates. Even if you die, it's not a huge deal. I think ranked's great, in my opinion.
Okay, so here's my question.
And I will say, I feel like it's balanced properly. It took a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been tracking, not obviously, but I've been tracking like Biffle or Hisoka or Shifty when they're playing, and I'm looking at only when it pops up. I tracked Aiden, and each week I've tracked it, and progressively the top 250 lobbies have actually gotten the
harder.
proper rankage. Not necessarily harder, because those players could have just been matched up anyways because they were at the top end, but visibly the ranks are harder. So there's more crims. Before there was almost none because people didn't have enough time to get there.
Yeah.
So like before in the beginning, it was all platinums almost in the lobbies.
Yeah.
Then because you guys got SR too quick, they can't fill the lobbies. Then now it's mostly diamonds, and then it's getting towards mostly crims. So hopefully get to a point where it's mostly iridescent.
Also, another change that they made is you can't check who's in the lobby in the pregame.
Which I love.
Yes.
Which is so sick. Thank God, man, because every lobby was getting canceled, it felt like.
Yeah, bro, I think, no bullshit, the boys went on a 10-game cancel streak, something like that. And they said they played for 10 hours, and 3 of those hours was them getting into a queue, canceling, and coming back.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
So I'm glad that's fixed. But here is the kind of the question for both of y'all is they found a great way to balance Resurgence, which I think we're in a pretty good state right now. Maybe they can make it better. Maybe, I don't know, right? But like, I hope they don't make any drastic changes where it becomes whoever plays the most. But now, how do they do this for BR rank when it comes out in, who knows, season? It's not going to be season 3, I don't think. Maybe 3.5 or 4. But what happens then? How do they balance it? Because the big reason of why I feel like it's not a whoever plays the most right now is because of the death fee. You die in Resurgence, and it's like, bro, why didn't I go up SR? Well, it's because you died a lot, bro. Like, you got to value your life a little bit more. How do they balance BR ranked whenever it does come out to where it actually is whoever is good and not whoever plays the most?
I feel like they could raise that number the same way they raise the penalty. I think there should be a scalar, because basically, once you hit iridescent, you have the same penalty all the way up. But the fee continues to go higher as you gain SR every increment of 500. So I think there should be a scalar, because I think somebody like you guys that are in the top 250 that are like 14,000, 15,000 SR, you should be losing 10 or 12 per death. Then it gets harder.
Yeah.
Like, it really should be hard where the best players are the only ones gaining.
I think for big map, if you die going to your gulag, you don't lose SR. But after that, you would lose SR.
That's comparable too, but the penalty could be higher.
Yeah. So if your teammates have to buy you back, you would lose SR.
Sorry, guys.
That's a good one. If you got bought back, that's a good compromise.
If you died and like your teammates had to buy you back, like let's say you go to gulag and you lose your gulag, minus death fee. That's when you get the minus death fee. Not like if.
Yeah, I don't mind. In my opinion, if it makes it to where I just want it to be competitive. And right now, dude, the last 3 seasons of ranked, obviously there was the Alt F4 glitch, so it was just
that fucked up a lot. Yeah, for sure.
So I hope whenever BR rank does come out that it is literally of whoever is actually good, and I don't mind if they introduce a death fee to BR, because right that I don't think that would be a bad thing. I don't mind Resurgence. I think it's gonna hit way diffy if they do decide to do Rebirth ranked. Like if it's between Rebirth ranked or Big Map ranked, I pray that they don't release them at the same time.
Hopefully not.
I probably would be on Rebirth ranked.
So yeah, as far as like what I'm thinking is what they're gonna do is, Rebirth season 3, maybe that comes with a Rebirth ranked. I'm not too sure. And then I'm sure season 4 they'll do a Big Map ranked, and then they'll either keep Resurgence ranked, maybe just like pocket it for a little bit, and then just kind of see how make everyone that wants to play rank mode play Big Map, and then maybe they bring it back so like they have options. But I think that's probably what we get.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work out, but I really do hope they make some big changes to BR ranked, because definitely it felt like it was just whoever played the most. But I hope they make changes, right? But okay, going on to our final topic of the day, which finally we can gonna talk about this is the playlist calendar. So we saw the playlist calendar and people were fucking pissed, bro. Everybody on all over Twitter was angry at the playlist. We talked about how there's only Fortunes Keep solos. There's now Vondel trios. The worst map, in our opinion, Ashika Island is the only thing that is in quads.
Apparently, everybody on Twitter loves Ashika Island because I was seeing everybody like, what do you guys mean?
Some people are memeing it. Some people are memeing it. So they kind of fit into the mix. It's hard to differentiate.
I don't know, man.
But I think it's like a 30-70. Like there are 30% of people that think Ashika is the best map.
We've said it.
They're wrong, but
there's got to be some data. There's got to be some data, man, that we just don't have. Like somebody like Ashika's got to be being played or something, or I don't know what it is, but I mean, dude, all my IRLs that I've talked to, my cousins, my family, my brother, everybody that plays the game at a casual level, and they're not competitors or anything, they hate Ashika. They're like, dude, that map is so bad. Like,
I feel Ebatez, you're spitting because like there's got to be some data when it comes to certain maps of why they're doing what they're doing, right? Like, there's no way these guys are purposefully shooting themselves in the foot. There's got to be some analytics that show certain maps, or like, honestly, bro, you want me to throw a crazy ass take? Yeah, maybe people are gonna be pissed off, but this is the only thing that makes sense of why they're doing it. What if Vondel isn't as popular as from like to the casual community as we think it is? Because to us, I love Vondel. I think it's great, right? Like right. You asked me that question back in Warzone 2, I'd be like, you're smoking crack. Vondel was horrible, but like with the new fluidity of movement, all that stuff, what if the player count and the numbers are very different than what Twitter is
yeah, and I don't know if it's like something they just can't share, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if these are numbers they can't share, but based on like what the information that we have, I know that YouTube views, I know it's not a direct reflection, but everything on YouTube does way better Vondel than does Ashika. Everything. You go ask any YouTuber that uploads a Resurgence creator,
but that goes back to kind of what I was saying at the earlier end.
Way better for Vondel than it does Ashika. So I don't know. Like, watch time's up, views are up, everything Vondel, and Ashika's way down. So I don't know. Like I said, there's got to be information we just don't know.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, the big problem is the conditioning of the viewer bases. A lot of people who do loadout videos, they try to set this standard. Hey, I'm not going to upload. You did the same thing. I don't even know if you do it now, but you did the same thing before, Hector, too, right? Like, I'm not uploading unless it's a 35 or whatever the hell in. And creators do that, and they move this imaginary goalpost on how many kills they need to have to upload. Even the biggest creators that are uploading 50s, 40s, whatever, 60s, they've set this expectation with their communities of what they need to upload, and this what their community will watch. Yeah. You think if, like, let's say TC Tech, he drops 250s, he says 100 kill, he puts 2 gameplays together, he's gonna have to play freaking Ashika for 3 matches for the same number of kills. He's not gonna do that. So in reality, he's conditioned his audience. I just throw out his name, but there's plenty of rebirthers out there or Resurgence players. And in his head, he's like, I'm not going to upload less than a 50. Well, guess what? He probably could, but how long it'll take to do that on Ashika is going to take way longer. And that's why I think also when Rebirth comes back, there's people still going to be mainly uploading Vondel, because 100 kills, 2 matches sounds way better than 70 for 2 matches or 80 on Rebirth Island. It's just kind of how it looks.
I might have to, I kind of disagree, because I think when Fortune's Keep dropped with the Rebirth, I think people were getting more kills or higher kill gameplays on Fortune's Keep, and they were uploading Rebirth content still.
No, the problem is towards the end, maybe, but in the beginning, there wasn't a high enough player count on Fortune's Keep. The lobbies died.
645, I think.
Yeah, like I said,
it was awful.
I'm totally fine with being wrong. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Ashika, never have been. But if there's data that supports, hey, this is what the majority like loves, dude, I'd be the biggest Ashika Island rider ever. I'd be like, dude, fuck yeah. I'd be like, run that shit up. Quads every week, bro. Ashika Island. Like, give the people what they want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
And they should make a statement. Yeah.
I'm not like 100% like give what streamers want. Like, dude, if the public, the general is like, yo, we want Ashika, I'm gonna stick by that, dude. I'm like, yo, the majority wants Ashika. Like, let's give him Ashika. Like, but I just complain now because I'm like, all the data that I have is telling me that Vondel is the most popular. But for some reason we're not getting a Vondel quads mode, you know, for 3 more weeks. And I'm like, I'm pissed off because I'm like, I enjoy Vondel quads. And I feel like everybody I talk to likes Vondel quads. So why are we not getting Vondel quads?
Yeah.
I think that's where I get frustrated. It's like,
Also, my point isn't like butting heads with what you're saying that maybe Ashika is the most popular. We don't know.
Right.
But what I'm saying is more like when you're doing a clickbaity title or sensationalized, 100 kills is way more cool than 60. Like, it just is. They're more likely to click on it. Like, you think if you uploaded a 17 kill gameplay right now, who's going to watch that, Hector?
Yeah, I mean, bro, hey, you never know, because there's some people that I see that like.
That's why I conditioned, like, when I was doing my second channel and Rebirth was popping, I would like, all right, cool, I'm not gonna upload too high because then I gotta drop that all the time. So I'll be dropping 14s, bro, and it would kill it. Each video would get 100K on the second channel. Like, so it really is kind of that dynamic.
Yeah.
Another question I have is, so I saw something from Raven. I can read it right now. They tweeted, "We're seeing a number of questions regarding Resurgence on playlist calendar for Warzone Season 2 Reloaded. To recap the plan, all 4 squad sizes to remain available for the next month. Each week, each squad size will be paired with a dedicated map. Throughout this process, we'll be collecting detailed data on performance of Resurgence, allowing us to consider how to better optimize our playlist to satisfy the widest range of players possible. Following a full rotation like the one we've announced, provide us a clear fixed stream." Okay, blah, blah, blah. You guys get it. I'm curious, why can't they just put quads? Let's say quads is the most popular mode, which I'm assuming it is. Why can't they put quads Ashika, Fortune's Keep, and Vondel and see which one performs the best all at the same time? Just do it for a week straight, see which ones play the most.
Okay, here's my question. One, I have, I guess, 2 separate questions when what you just brought up. Let's talk about the one, why don't they do multiple, like, game modes, right? Or what multiple, let's say, Vondel quads, Ashika quads, Keep quads. I think, and, you know, maybe I'm thinking too far into this, but if they do too many different playlists and 2 different game modes, SBMM will not be able to be cranked as much as they would like. When you have that many, I think SBMM has to be looser, and we've all found out they hate that shit. What do you guys think? Is that too much conspiracy theory?
I think that's one part. I think that's definitely one part. Because there's more than enough players if you live in NA. Yep. NA, we have a surplus of players. There could be 22 game modes, and you'll still find a lobby. The problem is out of region. If you go to EU, maybe they struggle in some modes population wise, and then Oceania and all those other like lesser like not NA regions, they'll struggle. Like Oceania, they can't even find. They have the VPN to the US just to get a lobby, bro. Yeah, like they queue up. It's like 47 people in the big map, and it's the same 47 people every day. Like
that is,
it just is what it is. So that's chalked. But I think in those regions, they could have region specific matchmaking where that like maybe they only have the 3 modes that are popular. But in the US and NA in general, we should be able to have everything.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
but
so
like you said, that stops it.
So here's the other question right now. Going back to the second one was when you said that they're trying to get data to collect for what the majority of people like, right? Do you think they're going to be transparent about that data?
Hell no.
Damn, you don't think they will?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Why do you think they're so hesitant on doing that? Why do you think they're so hesitant on not giving us transparent?
It's gonna create a huge disconnect in the community, and I think they just don't want that.
They won't make a statement. I think probably even what happened is just like, it sounds stupid. It's conspiracy theory, but there's probably like people who are in charge of the playlist at the studio, like actually in charge of it. They're like, no, I promise people want Ashika. And they're like, no, there's no way, bro. And then he's like, all right, well, give me 2 weeks to figure out. We'll prove it. And it's like, I guarantee you, it's not gonna do shit. We're gonna end up with the Ashika gone, and it's gonna be gone like that damn other map that no one wanted for like 2 days. The
Fortress.
Fort Shit Island,
bro.
Bagger Fortress.
Oh, Bagger Fort Shit.
He's probably like, yeah, bro, I promise.
I can't lie. Like Ashika Island's on its like 6th self-revive, bro. They've been I don't know how they're still here, but they're here.
But what if the data shows otherwise? Like
Dude, if the
actually,
I'd
data
love to see
shows-
it.
I want
I'd
to
love
see
to
it.
see
That's
it.
I want
I
to
will
see.
literally,
I'd love
I
to
will
see
go
it.
buy a custom T-shirt that says "I love Ashika Island," bro, and I will wear it on stream for a week straight. I'm not kidding, bro. Somebody can clip this. I will literally do that. I'm not kidding, bro.
Oh man.
If the data tells me like Ashika Island's #1, bro, I'm the biggest Ashika Island rider out there. Like I promise.
Again, I think and maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think there is a big disconnect between the Twitter community and then the majority of the fan base. That's what I think, or the majority of the player base. Because if everybody from every single Resurgence stream I've ever seen keeps talking about how much they love Vondel and how much like people love Vondel, and everybody's like Modern Doug Zone did a tweet about like most popular thing, and it was Vondel, people loved it or whatever. But then they always take away Vondel quads, and they always bring something else in. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know if do you think they're actually shooting themselves in the foot, or do they have data to show that maybe Vondel isn't as popular as the majority of people, at least us, we think.
Right. Because we
gotta
just go off
be.
the data. I go off the data that we have. That's
Yeah.
all I know. Like I said, that's all I know. So
Well, I will say this. I think the majority of people do like Vondel for the higher player counts, higher kills. And then Fortune's Keep is next because it actually plays, I think, better as a whole on the map. Even though it doesn't have as many players, you can't get as many kills. I think the map as a whole plays better than Vondel. Because of the style Vondel is, it's geared towards stairwell, rooftops, and that's the dynamic it's going for. But Ashika, I don't have like I don't have any positive thing to say about it. Like it doesn't do anything good. Like it looks terrible, darkness wise.
it's like a wannabe Caldera.
There's
like,
so much water. The entire underwater is a wasted development.
yeah.
Like the center is the highest or whatever the high spot.
They love
you gotta
doing
run
that. They
uphill.
love
It's a
doing
wannabe
that.
Caldera. I'm telling you,
There's
it's a wannabe
literally
Caldera.
nothing. Like when the zone does end in one of the other POIs, it does feel like a little bit better. Like the map plays okay, but it's just I don't know what they're thinking.
They want to be Caldera so bad,
I'm
man.
curious.
Ashika.
I'm gonna throw a wild assumption out there, and
Oh
I
yeah, the
feel like
regain's terrible. I played it yesterday because I was forced to. Sorry to cut you off,
I know you're
but
good.
there's
Yelling
no
right now.
fucking contracts, bro. Everything is bounties. Everything is bounties. Literally, land on there, it's bounties. Try and run some
Hey.
bounties with some random. See what happens.
I played Ashika yesterday. I was losing my mind. I said, I'm out of here, bro. I'm going to Vondel. I'll play trios. I don't care. I'll play solo trios. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I ended up going to Vondel.
But oh god, I lost my train of thought. Fuck, I literally forgot. Fuck. No,
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. Damn it, what was I saying? I literally forgot. Fuck. I
I
can't.
don't know. I mean, I think we're down this road of like Resurgence is like, the focus right now, which
For sure.
I'm fine with. I'm a Resurgence guy, but I hope, eventually we get a big map ranked and it kind of switches focused a little bit. But if we're focusing on Resurgence, like I want to see some solid playlists and, we have a good ranked mode. So, but I want to have like options. Like I just don't understand the whole like solos for Fortune's Keep, then duos for Urzikstan, POI, and then trios for Vondel, and then Ashika Island quads. Like, just I feel like it's such a split because like I said, man, like my cousins, my brother, they'll hit me up like, yo, you guys want to play? And I'm like, yo, guys, the only quads mode right now is Ashika, and they're like, oh, fuck that, we're not getting on, bro. Like what? Like no, I'm being serious. And then like it'll be like, oh, Wes, you're not getting on. All right, yo, Dane and Brad, like join up. We're playing trios Vondel then. And then my cousin Wes will be like, wait, what the fuck, guys? Like. You guys are playing trios. Yeah, we're like, dude, the only mode right now is Vondel for trios. And they're like, well, I don't want to play fucking Ashika. And I'm like, yeah, I don't either. So then like somebody gets left out and like, but again, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, look, man, I remember now what I was gonna say, and it's I'm gonna throw a random, like maybe a crazy take out here, but I feel like if they were transparent enough to tell us that they're collecting data these next 4 weeks of what people actually want to play, I feel like maybe it's not that big of a stretch to think that they might even tell us what the data says after the end of the month. So that way, I don't know. Maybe I'm faded for that take, but I mean, if there was ever going to be a team that would be transparent, it would be Raven. To be like, yo, like, I mean, they've been transparent about almost everything we've ever done, right? If there was ever a team, I think it'd be them. But
They've been collecting data for 3 years.
yeah, I would hope, man. I don't know.
Hey, to be fair though, I mean, it is kind of funny. Like we're at a point in the game where like the playlist is like one of the biggest talking points. You know, it's kind of stupid. The game, like, it just, I don't know. I feel like it's common sense to do a good playlist. Like, you know what's even funnier too? When they put out Lockdown and then like under the tweet, it's just a bunch of people complaining the plunder's gone. And it's like, like, I get it. Like, let the plunder kids have their mode, you know? But like they do the same thing to us too, bro. Like, just let us play what we want to play, bro. Like, what are we doing? Shika needs to be vaulted. Like, it is what it is.
I don't know, JGOD. The data could say that Ashika's number one. Like, what is your?
Bro. I'm curious.
I don't know. I didn't have
curious.
anyone complaining for 2 weeks, other than a few creators asking for Vondel back for the entire 2 weeks we had Fortune's Keep. I feel like the complaining about the playlist was like the lowest it's been in like ever.
Yeah, because we had Vondel quads, right?
Yeah.
No, even before that, it was only Fortune's Keep.
I thought there was Vondel quads last week.
No, they added that after. No, that's what I'm saying. Like for the past week, yes. But I'm saying right when they launched it, there was nothing. And then last week, nothing, even more because we did have the Vondel. But now this week, trash.
Yeah. I don't know. They gotta, if any map makers are listening, they gotta stop making the highest POI. Look, you know what? Side note before we conclude is I feel like if there's anything that these map makers, they probably already have hella maps already made and shit. The next year's maps already made for sure. Like, if there's anything that I think they should focus on, the center of the map should be the #1 priority on making like the best possible POIs. I'm not talking about like scrambling, like making it fucking look like you just threw a bunch of AI in there. Like that's what Resurgence, the middle of the map. Old Town feels like it was made out of AI. Like they just put a bunch of buildings in random locations. Like I feel like they should make
made out of AI.
That's the way it seems like, bro. They should prioritize 100% the middle of the map over everything, and that should be their main focus on making that super fluent and making really good POIs in the center of the map. And then maybe, you know, you can still do some cool POIs on the edge, but just
quick question before we do conclude, do you want to talk a little bit about this subliner tourney that's coming up, since we're on the topic of Resurgence and stuff?
Yeah, well, I was gonna talk about it because it starts in 2 weeks from now. At the end, but I was gonna talk about it next week.
End of the month, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll quick talk about it real fast. And I do want to talk about it again, but I want to bring on competitors for that podcast. Sure. So we'll give a little sneak peek. But pretty much, guys, they just announced a $50,000 tournament at the end of March, but it's going to carry
qualifiers. Yeah, qualifiers are going to be at the end of the month. I think March 29th and the 30th are TKRs, I believe.
Yes.
And then April 6th and 7th are the custom semifinals and then finals.
I really fuck with this heavy, bro. And, you know, I've definitely given my opinions to Shanice, and I believe that they should do more stuff like this and stop doing one big ass tournament in one day, like, or one big ass in 2 days. Like, if you're gonna do $150,000 tournament, let's make that shit last a month. Let's let everybody compete in it. Let's do qualifiers. Let's have consistent tournaments. Let's make them all open so anybody can compete. I promise you, people will compete. So, for example,
you legitimize it for sure.
This 50K, bro, even though it's quote unquote just 50K, we just finished having 150K, bro. If you make it to finals, you are that guy. You are them type shit, right? Like no matter what, like, dog, it is incredibly hard to make it. So for those of y'all wondering how it works, it's gonna be so it's split into 4 regions. It's southeast, all of southeast of the US.
Yeah, it's like southeast. And like
Northeast.
you could basically just say it's west, north, south, and east. There's like 3 different regions, and but go ahead.
Yeah, 4. So it's northeast, southwest, whatever, and you're only allowed to play with people from your region. So some teams, for example, Diaz and them, they're not playing together in that tournament because they are not all. 2 of them are from California, and then Diaz is from Texas, so they're not allowed to play together.
Do we have a leak on Diaz's roster?
I'm gonna be honest. You want me to be honest with you? That man said on stream he's probably not playing it.
Dang,
shame.
He said that more that he might not play in it because he can't play with the squad. So I don't know if he changed his mind.
Dang, he's shifty made. That's crazy. He is shifty made. Wow.
To be fair,
hey, if Biffle was number one, he'd play in with anybody and he'd win that shit. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Biff, you sound scared, bro. You sound scared. I don't know. You might
Call him out.
Hold up.
Damn, bro.
No,
I don't know.
He's gonna be stream sniping you in those top 250 SR. You're like, oh, he wants to talk. Let's get some clips. Imagine.
I was fine.
Imagine.
Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be
know.
funny.
I don't know what he ended up deciding, but I remember I was watching a stream the other day, and he was saying like when it first came out, he was like, I don't know if I want to. But again, that's always been though. Like if
I know that's how he is.
He's turned down so many tournaments if he feels like he just can't win. If he doesn't feel like he can win the tournament, he won't play like with whatever team he's.
Nah, for sure. It's definitely understandable.
But I get it because he's rather focusing on content than everything else.
Right.
But so the way it's gonna work, there's stage 1, which is open qualifiers. The top 24 teams from each region, so 24 from region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4, all go to regional finals. Then they play in a custom tournament. So there's going to be 4 separate custom tournaments. And then from there, the top, I believe, 6 teams.
Top 6, yep.
Yeah, top 6 teams from each region go and then play in a final tournament where then all 4 regions play against each other and play in the finals. It is going to be incredibly hard. We're going to be covering that the entire, 4 weeks that it's happening.
Yeah.
I think low key, it seems like tournaments are back. And so I'm really excited because we've had a drought of, let's say, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of nothing. So I'm hoping very soon we get some other stuff announced. And
well, yeah, I wouldn't say back. I mean, those qualifiers aren't for 22 days. So, I mean, we still got 3 more weeks of, nothing, but.
Yeah.
Okay, Hector. Yeah, I see you, bro. Okay. I see how you're moving. Okay. Okay.
But anyways, but I'm excited for that. We're going to talk about that very soon. We'll do probably a whole podcast on that. And we're going to be covering that watch partying. It's going to be awesome as well. But boys, I mean, that's kind of it for me for the podcast for today. I think we covered everything we needed to. And we are going to do another one very soon. We got to do that March Madness Rebirth one. That one is going to be dope, bro. That one should be cool. But any final thoughts, boys, before we go?
I'm good.
Okay. Also, guys, anybody in the chat, anybody in YouTube, !NYSL and !NYSL in the chat if you guys want to sign up for that tournament we just talked about. So if you guys want to go ahead and talk about that, or you want to sign up, !NYSL, y'all can sign up. Anybody can play as long as you are in the United States. You can play. But boys, everybody at home, everybody on Spotify, YouTube, I think we're on like 15 platforms now. I didn't even know there was 15 platforms. Yeah, literally 15 platforms. Yo, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one, baby. Peace, peace, peace.